She's been dumped again. Meghan Markle has been dumped again by her agent this time, who just so happens to be the most powerful agent in all of Hollywood.
Ari Emanuel personally cut ties with Meghan, and this happened because of difficult behavior behind the scenes. WME publicly announced in 2023 that they would represent Meghan in areas including film, television, and brand partnerships. That relationship was presented as a major move into Hollywood's top tier of representation.
And there have been rumors about this for months. But Meghan and Archewell and her little liars in Montecito have been pushing back and saying, oh no, they're still involved. But Alison Boshoff has taken the Easter video for a deep dive into just how Father Sussex's star has fallen and has come up with that revelation, as well as many more. Meghan is now just a bog standard momager. And Harry, making only $50,000 for his paid speeches. Now, trust me, for me or for you, we would be like, we are in the money. But if you're Prince Harry and you're paying for private jets and you're paying for security, that's not enough to keep you afloat. So this was the weird video on Easter Sunday that prompted all of this latest discussion. Personally, I don't know about you, but have another watch. I found this really sad and melancholy and actually quite creepy. Nothing says love or fun like two completely solitary children in a castle which has effectively become a prison. So using those videos, this is where Boshoff, who, as a reminder, is the editor-at-large at the Daily Mail, has done a deep dive. And I'm going to talk you through it and give my analysis as we go. Writing, so what in the name of bunny ears is going on? A California source told me around 3 weeks ago that Meghan is settling on her next direction and that the new pivot, gosh, what are we at now? About 100, will be leaning into what she calls her greatest and most relatable role as a mother. Now, again, I don't know about you. I think there's absolutely nothing relatable about Meghan as a mum. I think she's completely disconnected from her two children who are looked after by a phalanx of nannies every day. Boshoff goes on, she's been talking for years about how meaningful she finds being a mother, and now this is going to be her focus. Naturally, she will have to build her mom identity on Instagram, since you cannot have a lifestyle brand without using social media. Well, that's difficult, isn't it? Given Harry is on a deranged campaign, even using the parents of dead teenagers to say that posting your children on Instagram makes you a completely socially irresponsible mother. So then we come to the brand itself, and Boshoff asks the $54 million question, is it successful? The exit of Netflix, an initial partner in the brand, suggests not. People who have been in their circle suggest Meghan lacks focus. One says it's scattergun, she is just trying anything to see what sticks, which is as good a reason as any as to why she is now moving into the mommy space. My source said nobody wants to pay for her kitchen tips, but this is an area where she can find some credibility. It's not lost on anyone that she keeps on posting videos of her with Lily. It feels like it's almost every day now. That's where she is going, and there is so much money in it. Okay, so at least we now know that Meghan's decision to literally defy her husband's number one wish as a father is because she needs to make the money. And Harry desperately needs the money too. And then talking about this disaster in Australia, Boshoff goes on to say her appearance for a fireside chat at Her Best Life, a women-only retreat in Australia, should be seen in this context. Events such as the one she will be speaking at are highly lucrative. There is a huge influencer economy in the motherhood space, and Meghan has returned in a number of interviews to the theme of her relatability. She says that despite her fortune and fortunate circumstances, she is just like any other working mother during school runs, filling lunchboxes and cooking mama meals for the children who adore her. To be effective here, she'll need to invade the privacy of her family, but as her recent videos of Lilibet show, this is something she seems willing to do. There is a sense at this point of Meghan and Harry engaging with whatever it is that is going to make their finances work. Her husband, Prince Harry's public-facing engagement in Australia is also a money spinner. He is due to make an appearance at the Interedge Summit. By the way, he's only filling in for a dude who had to pull out because he was involved in a Me Too scandal. A for-profit symposium on psychological safety in the workplace in Melbourne on April the 15th and 16th. Unfortunately, it has still not sold out, even though tickets have been on sale for nearly a month. Those tickets cost $1,978.65 Australian for a gold level and $2,378.65 Australian for platinum, and the capacity is 250. A new cheaper tier has since been introduced. God, that's embarrassing. It shouldn't make a difference to the prince's pocket, though. He's expected to get a pre-negotiated fee thought to be around $50,000, however many attendees turn up. That's a step down from his wife's fee. If you were feeling unkind, you could say that he has gone from being Prince William's spare to Meghan's. And absolutely, that is something that Harry's friends have told me for years. They can't believe that he's effectively gone from being the understudy, the spare for one man, to being the understudy and spare to his wife. Then there's a little bit about some of the charity stuff. The charity stuff they're doing in Australia. So they're planning a visit to the Invictus Australian team. We'll also meet with some of those, apparently including politicians who backed Australia's ban on social media for under-16s last year. So that's very political, engaging with the leftists and the woke and the censorship kings who currently run Australia. A source close to the couple previously told a newspaper piously, there is a lot of misinformation being spread about this trip, all designed to whip up hate. The truth is, you have a couple heading down under for work. While they're in town, they're going to check in on some charitable causes they have long supported, and in the Duke's case with the Invictus Games he set up. The couple are critically aware that by just visiting a charity, they can help shine a light on its work, bringing media attention that wouldn't otherwise exist. They don't have to do that. So a concession there that they are playing the media that they claim to despise. This pious source, and the word is pious, went on, they could just as easily get paid and head straight back to California. It's an irrational reaction to criticize a couple who just want to support some of the charitable causes close to them. God forbid they try to do any good in a world that could, frankly, use a little more Harry and Meghan and a little less sniping from royal commentators. Who are they talking about? While there, the couple will be supported by a team. It's one which has been shrinking, thanks to numerous departures among staff and the decimation of their charity foundation, which now only seems to have one freelancer left on its book. One staff member. So James Holt, one of the most senior associates, will not be there, even though he was meant to be supporting them on ad hoc, case-by-case causes. He won't be there. Instead, Shauna Knapp of Archewell will attend. PR support will be given by ex-serviceman Liam Maguire. PR chief Meredith Maines quit in November last year after the Kris Jenner birthday party debacle. My understanding is that her advice not to ask for pictures to be taken off social media after the party, which was held the night before Remembrance Sunday, wasn't heeded, so she decided to move on. So that's interesting. Confirmation there that Meghan and Harry lied about what went on with the Kardashians, and that was the reason for their PR chief to depart. I mean, this couldn't be more of a mess. There will be just two more aides in Australia, Sarah Fosmo, Meghan's chief of staff, bag carrier, and Miranda Barbo, Harry's chief of staff, bag carrier. That's fewer people by far than supported the Sussexes when they undertook an official royal tour of Australia in 2018. Back then, there were 4 PRs, 2 private secretaries, a PA, a hairdresser, and stylist Jessica Mulrooney. She's been ghosted, but Meghan paid for her services privately. Plus 2 local staff were taken on to help with the logistics, so 11 people in total rather than 4. And you wonder who is advising them now and what advice they are giving. Alison Boshoff notes. And here's where we get to the bombshell. One thing to note is that the couple parted ways a long time ago with the very influential talent agency WME. A well-placed insider at the respected Hollywood talent agency, full name William Morris Endeavour, said the Duchess of Sussex fell out with them over a lack of cover over the holidays around Thanksgiving in 2023. And as a result, they quietly opted to stop working together. So just hold up for one moment there, because this is really significant. A lack of cover over the holidays. What that means is that on Thanksgiving, on one of America's most sacred family days, Meghan Markle threw one hell of a hissy fit. She demanded that the WME staff were there for her. And remember, this is a woman who denies that the same thing happened in the royal family, that the same thing happened in Archewell. Her demands are ludicrous. And her diva behavior is so off the scale because, trust me, WME is the agency of Blake Lively. For God's sake. You know, this is a company that is goddamn used to working with the biggest divas in the world. But when it came to Meghan Markle, they said, enough. We are not having this. Our staff deserve a Thanksgiving. You're gone, sweetheart. And this is what the Boshoff source revealed. She complained that she was having to do everything herself, and WME essentially told her to get lost. The news means Meghan is without the formidable bargaining power of WME and its influential boss Ari Emanuel at the point when their deal with Netflix has been downgraded and success stories are in short supply. One well-placed Hollywood insider said there is no way that the Variety piece about her fallout with Netflix would have run if WME was still looking after Meghan. Now, this is where things get murky because a source in the Sussex camp demurs that WME is still involved with Meghan, but that formulation does not mean there is a current contractual relationship. So again, lies, lies, and more damned lies. Obfuscation. She's not telling the truth. If there's no contract, there's no deal, they're not involved. Boshoff goes on to say, I'm told that all concerned agreed that they would not comment on the split. And indeed, back in February last year, and we covered it here, the story of the breakup was denied by WME and Sussex sources after the New York Post said that it had happened. At least, though, they will have the chance to make money. The last time Meghan was in Australia on a triumphant post-royal wedding tour in 2018, she had a complaint. I can't believe I'm not getting paid for this, she reportedly grumbled to staff after spending hours shaking hands with well-wishers and receiving dozens of bouquets from children. There is no danger of a replay when she gets down under this time. So that is an extraordinary indictment on Meghan's entire post-Megxit life and career just imploding. You've lost the biggest names in Hollywood. You've lost Spotify. You've lost Netflix and Ted Sarandos. You've lost WME and Ari Emanuel. And now this Australian tour is in real crisis. So the organisers are desperately trying to hawk tickets despite, and this is the problem with the fact that there's just no honesty connected to the Sussexes because they told everyone, oh, it's sold out. Don't worry, it's sold out. There's no need to worry. We don't need anyone. We don't need anyone to pay $3,000 because it is sold out. That just isn't true. Posted, the hotel just kindly released a handful of additional rooms, including solo options we heard you asking. Now, Sabera alone said on that, if you've been feeling the pull to join this community, this is your sign. Oh, sorry, that's what Her Best Life said. But Sabera alone said, tell us your 300 limit event is not sold out without telling us. Your 300 limit event is not sold out. They're attempting hard to get people to go to this event. More than likely, the pushback of wanting not to share a room with a person has been fierce. This is hilarious and embarrassing to watch. And royal YouTube sensation, according to Taz, added, so not quite sold out then, unless they just cancelled a bunch of innocent people scared that Meghan's mole undercover spy might have infiltrated the chosen few. At this rate, they'll be doing cavity searches on the attendees to make sure they don't have a mic. And that is, of course, because over the weekend it was revealed that one of Meghan's critics on social media, Meghan's mole, had hatched a plan to attend the event. But I think the reality is that they are just not sold out. And they hoped that by trying to make it appear as if there was a scarcity like they did at the initial launch of Was Never, then they might sort of get people more interested to come along. At the same time, we also have to look at the fact that Harry and Meghan's personal life seems to be in deep trouble. I mean, have you seen the Duke look more happy than he did on holiday with Eileen Gu, the very glamorous Eileen Gu, who is a gold medal winning athlete and who just so happens to be on the celebrity dating app Raya, looking for love. And I repeat, there is absolutely no evidence that Meghan Markle was on this holiday, despite the fact she did post this video of Archie going down the slopes and looking like a great skier. Well, I don't think that was filmed by her at all. So, deep trouble in the Sussex camp. That is now impossible to deny. And when we go right back to the fact that a lot of this chat has come from the pictures of the children that were released over Easter, I want to bring in Prince Harry's biographer and our royal mastermind, Angela Levin, who has been looking closely at the new videos released by Meghan. And Angela, you don't think they particularly add up because of the changing look of young Lily, and who all of a sudden appears to be bigger than Archie. So you're even a bit concerned about whether these videos are genuine.
Yes, I mean, it's very odd, isn't it? I mean,
Very odd.
time, Lilibet's got dark brown and it's a terrible mess. And another time it's red and it actually has been combed or brushed this time, which is the first time I've actually seen it done. So maybe Meghan's actually read some of us and thinks, well, I better do something. But the sadness for me is this enormous rabbit she's holding. It's a need, isn't it? It's a desperate need she needs. And I thought that was very, very sad. And then she's running very fast to find some eggs, just sort of chocolate eggs. And there's her brother, if he's her brother, he's half the size. So we've just seen him outside in the snow where he looked quite big. And now here he is, looking very small. So it's just a complete mess. And I really resent that, because is she doing that because we're all stupid? And we can't work out exactly what's going on at all. Or there's some sort of plan there that kids come in and go out and come in and go out, and they're all sort of different kids, but they're not the same kids all the time. I can see that. Anyone can see that. It's just not there. So it's very annoying and rude, and it's another lie if it's true. If it's true, it's a real lie.
Well, the thing is, Angela, what we are not getting with this family anymore, and this is the problem, and obviously we're going to come and talk about this new career crisis, but what we never seem to get with this couple is genuine authenticity. And the problem is, on social media, people can see through people who are not expressing genuine authenticity. And I give you this picture, Angela, as new evidence of the fact that Harry only looks happy these days when he's very far away from Ms. Markle, his wife.
I haven't seen him smile like that for a long time. He's very happy. He's relaxed. He's enjoying himself. I think one of the problems when he's with Meghan is that he's got to please her, and he's worried all the time. Is he making the 10 out of 10 of his behaviour like she demands? I mean, she demands so much. When she, all that touching when he's walking, don't go this way, that way. He's absolutely on his tiptoes all the time. But here, with this very nice, attractive woman, he's enjoying himself.
Yeah, I know. I look.
But she's
a very glamorous, beautiful young woman. Okay, and clearly he is very comfortable in her company. But what I found so interesting is that Eileen Gu posted a picture of herself with Justin Trudeau and Katy Perry, whereas there's absolutely no image of Meghan Markle. So my suggestion, Angela, is that she wasn't even there. And of course, when she posted that video of Archie going down the slopes, wants everyone to believe that she was. And this is the problem. You never get the truth with her. And indeed, Angela, she's had to go into damage control again. Now, we spoke about this on Outspoken last week. Patrick J. Adams, Meghan's former closest co-star on Suits, had done a podcast where it was made pretty clear to me that Meghan isn't bothered by him anymore. Basically, she said he was really he said that she could be really like dismissive of him on set and constantly rolled her eyes at him. And then he went into the fact that really he hadn't heard from her of late. Watch. He was lying because he felt like he had to lie. Now, anyway, Meghan has seen the criticism about this, and this is what makes me laugh, Angela, because, she says, I don't read anything. Well, she clearly does, because now the Mail reports that after a clip from the segment about the Duchess was posted on Instagram, Meghan left a comment for Patrick and his wife, Troyan Belisario, letting them know that the jam's en route for you. She also sent her love and hugs to the couple's 3 beautiful babies' daughters, Aurora, Elliot, and Imogen, who was born in January, and Patrick's mother. But to me, Angela, it was like all about damage control, because she wasn't happy that it was very obvious that she had just ditched this guy, basically, because he's not famous enough for her anymore. She doesn't need him.
Yeah, she dropped him, but also he'd sort of dropped her, because he did seem to be very interested, or could remember when she'd given him something, when she'd spoken to him, what she's ever said. I mean, he'd walked away with it as much as she had, but she didn't want that. And I bet you that she was furious that he's got 3 babies now, is married, because he wasn't when they were doing their acting together. So she would be cross. So she thought that she'd do one up and send them all lovely sprinkles and so forth. I mean, she's very quick moving, isn't she? But it's all nonsense.
Well, it is, because she's the one who claims, I don't look at any of this stuff. I'm not dictated by any of this stuff. And then, Angela, we get to the real bombshell, which is that she's doing all of this without WME, without a big agent, but she's trying to cover up the truth.
Yes.
And again, it's just like, oh my God, this is how bad things have got.
Yes, I think it's very bad, actually. And after all her loving things in her film or her program, she wanted a bit of that to continue, because she does still think she's very important and wonderful, and he would be thrilled to be able to do that. But actually, once he's heard he's married with 3 kids, she's got to change the whole thing. So now it's mother, isn't it? It's mommy. And she's going to make sure that everybody think, what a lovely woman to send them all for the children and him. She's changing her personality very quickly, because she doesn't know who she is. She has to quickly change so many times.
The phrase diva antics is emotionally loaded language. It suggests personality conflict and difficult behavior without providing evidence. This kind of wording is often used in celebrity gossip to explain professional rumors in dramatic terms. But it is not the same as documented reporting. Stories like this often begin when observers notice a lack of visible progress, fewer public announcements, or quiet periods in a celebrity's career. From there, commentators start to ask questions. Those questions gradually turn into theories, and those theories become headlines. What begins as observation becomes a story of conflict. These videos often reference unnamed insiders or industry sources who allegedly know what's happening behind closed doors. Without names or confirmation, these claims cannot be verified, but they add weight to the narrative. This is a common storytelling device in celebrity media. A key part of this narrative is interpreting silence as evidence. If WME is not publicly promoting projects, it becomes a sign of tension. If Meghan is not visibly launching new ventures, it becomes a sign of problems. But silence does not necessarily mean conflict. It can simply mean projects are still in development. We know Meghan is represented by WME based on public announcements. We know she has media projects and business ventures in development. We do not know of any confirmed split, personal conflict, or official statement from either side. So, has Ari Emanuel dumped Meghan Markle? There is no verified evidence to support that claim. What we're seeing is how commentary can take limited public information and turn it into a dramatic narrative of professional fallout. What do you think? Is this story revealing real Hollywood tension, or is it an example of how speculation grows into headlines? Share your thoughts in the comments below.